culmination of the Southern Conference softball season is the Visit Chattanooga SoCon Softball Championship at Jim Frost Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So excited to be here, so anxious for softball to begin, but Mother Nature had different plans and yesterday's games were postponed 24 hours until today. But we're ready to go and we begin play with single elimination games. It starts with the home team Chattanooga taking on the 8 seed Furman. A pleasant good morning. So glad you're along with us with Todd Agnew. I'm Dave Friedman. This is what it's all about. And for these teams, different expectations coming into the year.
Yeah, Dave, I mean, for both these teams, they had questions. Everybody has questions to start the season. Chattanooga lost a lot of ball players. Furman's trying to figure their way through. What happens after 40, 50 games is you hope you have all those questions answered. I don't think these two teams do, but they might be close enough.
The bracket shows those 2 single elimination games first, and then we get into your traditional double elimination play. But for these teams, everything's on the line.
Everything is on the line. I mean, this is one opportunity to stick around, one opportunity to go home. It's a difficult game primarily because of the anticipation of yesterday. Now you've got to restart today. Also, this early morning start. Not everybody's very familiar with it.
We'll come back, we'll look at the starting lineups, and we'll get things going. It's going to be a long week in Chattanooga. One of these teams will survive until later today. Our Scenic City starting lineups presented by Visit Chattanooga, and there you see the lineup for the Paladins of Furman, and you look at Kristen Embler, Todd, in the number 3 hole, the only all-conference player, and she's also the starting pitcher.
Yeah, she is certainly going to be a key to today's game. You know, this is a club in Furman that has one really solid pitcher, and I feel like that it is Embler, and I've seen her play. She can lead this team to a victory. She's going to need solid defense behind her. That is not something she has had a lot of this year.
And Embler, a true freshman. Opposing her for UTC is Taylor Long, making her 109th career appearance.
Yeah, she has had some struggles this year. She got off to a 50-50 start, let's say. Then she suffered some injuries and then had to come back and redevelop into their starting pitcher. She's had some good outings recently. Obviously, they hope that that continues. She has a little bit better defense behind her when you think about shortstop and second and center, but there are some question marks out there as well.
She throws a fastball, a screwball, probably her best pitch, and a curve, but her control has been inconsistent and problematic throughout the year. And we get underway at 5 minutes after 10, 24 hours after we had hoped to get this thing underway.
Yeah, I rode my way home last night and was happy that, that there wasn't too much water damage around the area. This is not really a great start for Taylor Long. She normally likes to start batters off low and away, especially against right-handers. And the fact that she has missed up and away is going to require an adjustment.
Taylor Long pitched 3 times against Furman last weekend. On Sunday, 2 innings of 1-hit shutout ball. In Game 1 on Saturday, 6 innings of shutout ball, allowing 2 hits. And in Game 2 on Saturday, 5 2/3 innings of 3-run, 5-hit softball.
Yeah, and I felt like in talking with Coach Reed for Chattanooga, they didn't want her to throw that many innings. They were in a situation, though, where they thought they could get out of this playing game if they were able to sweep the series. Now, they did their part, but everybody else in front of them also did their part, and so they weren't able to get out of this, and they did put a lot of miles on Long.
Taylor Long has worked 427 1/3 career innings over 4 years, a 40-30 mark, and a 3.37 ERA. And that is her 517th career strikeout.
Yeah, this is a good battle back for her. She was behind in the count and then managed to even it up and then managed to get the advantage. So, it just feels like every batter in these games, right? Everything is so hyper-focused and important, and just getting that leadoff hitter out is a big deal. And I've always felt like when you're in the first inning of a game, the priority, it's always a priority to get an order down in order if you can, but to get it at the start of the game is such a huge momentum builder.
A.B. Sapala, second-team NEC selection at St. Francis before coming to Furman. See the defense behind Taylor Long.
Yeah, I mentioned question marks. Gainer at second base. They have been waiting for her to develop. She has played really well down the stretch, but she has also been prone to some defensive mistakes, and what they are going to be counting on today is that she will be an everyday solid defenseman for them at second base through this tournament. Just catches that elbow right there. You mentioned the problem with control, and I feel like it's been there early in this game so far.
When I talked to Frank Reed on the days are running together, I guess that would be Tuesday.
Yes.
He was saying that early in the year, Taylor Long was falling behind batters, which in previous seasons wasn't necessarily a problem. She would fall behind and battle back, like we saw against the leadoff hitter Stolfus. But this year, those batters were getting away from her. A walk, a hit batter, what have you. So they kind of adjusted and said, you need to pitch ahead. And maybe they were placing pitches a little bit closer to the zone that otherwise they would have been asking a batter to try to chase. But he felt over the last couple of weeks, she's been able to expand and battle back from pitching behind a bit better.
Look, you want to spot that fastball first and then start to spot your movement pitches. And where I've seen her already in this game just struggle a little bit is trying to spot the fastball. And once she starts to do that, obviously her confidence builds. But falling behind the count and having to rely on the fastball to get you through, batters will just sit down on that and they'll wait for it. It's one of those situations where in a plate appearance, sometimes the best pitch you're going to see is early if a pitcher is struggling, because they're going to throw something that might be in the middle portion of the plate just to spot it. You mentioned the weather yesterday. I think it was a great day for the players just to go back and relax in the hotels. I think there was a lot of tension yesterday. I was at the alternate field watching the warm-ups for East Tennessee State. As you watch this replay here, that's where she wants that pitch, that low and away to the right-handers. And watching East Tennessee State and Mercer warm up, I think it was just a nice stress relief to go back to the hotels and take it easy for a while.
When I talked to Mary Beth Dennison, the Furman coach, yesterday, she said her team needs to score first and play from ahead. So you've got the runner on here with 2 outs, and Burroughs, arguably your best hitter at the plate.
You and I spent a lot of time with the coaches and just asking them, is there any strategic difference because it's a tournament game? And most of them, you see the head coach there, where, you know what, we've played 40 to 50 games. We are who we are. We might try to run a little bit more. If the conditions are demonstrably different, we might try to do something different, but you're pretty much locked in with who you have and what you are right now.
The one reoccurring trend in talking to the coaches throughout the league is strong opinions of playing this tournament on turf.
Yes. Yeah. Very strong opinions, by the way, right? I know that for some teams, and Mercer's an example, they don't think they've played a game this year on turf, right? And so you get here, and where it really becomes advantageous is for left-handed batters. Chattanooga has 3. Normally in the women's softball game, that left-handed, right-handed matchup that people are used to talking about when it comes to baseball doesn't really exist here. But for the left-handed batters here at Frost Stadium, they have a decided advantage because they can get a head start on anything slapped to the left side. If they pound it into the ground and it takes a high bounce, they're almost assured of reaching the base safely.
Peeler at the plate is the fastest player Furman has. Now she hits from the right-hand side, but if she can bounce one up high, they'll have a very difficult time getting her. Now, you've got force plays at second and third in this situation, but Furman trying to scratch a run here in the first.
I'm curious, was your opinion any different about the coaches about playing on turf after playing basically a whole season, probably on regular surfaces?
Yeah, I mean, different people have different viewpoints on it. To a shocker to no one, Frank Reed likes playing on the turf. He's played a lot of years here. And I think the general sentiment around the league is it's an advantage for Chattanooga, who's used to playing on it.
You think about it from a defensive perspective, it puts a lot of stress on the infield, knowing that any miscue on this surface could cost you a base runner, could cost you a run.
Now, that said, there was a lot of rain yesterday, and you know the turf field is going to deal with that better than most natural fields.
Yeah, I think if they had been playing this anywhere else, we may not even be playing today.
So Taylor Long works out of trouble in the first, striking out the side, and the Mocs will come up in the bottom of the first in a scoreless game.
Remember how summer felt? Pure, unfiltered joy. Days filled with sun-soaked adventures. And the kind of fun you never wanted to end. That feeling? It's waiting for you in Chattanooga. From breathtaking mountain views to secret waterfalls and hidden wonders, adventure here feels like a childhood discovery. Savor the flavors of summer and make new friends. Give yourself permission to be carefree again. This is Chat Summer.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for, train for, run wind sprints when nobody's watching for, The moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this, your moment. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
Our Scenic City starting lineups presented by Visit Chattanooga, and you see the lineup for the Mocs, which includes Bailey Pitts and Chloe Lackey, who both had walk-off hits against Furman last weekend.
Yeah, you see 9 names, but look to the left. You see 3 left-handed bats, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. And this is what I was talking about in the top half of the first inning. These left-handed hitters have a decided advantage on this field. If they have the skill set to bunt and or slap, you can move runners over. These 2 particular batters at the top of the order, and I've seen this with other left-handers on other teams, that can hit the ball down and into the turf, are going to create a bounce and a backspin. And again, getting to first base isn't that hard in this stadium if you're left-handed.
And they're facing Kristen Embler in the circle. She has 8 of the 13 wins for Furman this year. Embler struggled with Chattanooga over the weekend, went 3 innings, gave up 7 hits and 6 runs, 5 of them earned.
Now that's a key point, Dave, is the earned runs.
Stoltz Foos threw that wide, and it's going to be a runner in scoring position for Furman.
Now let's talk about the obvious, right? It's the defense, and you'll get a chance to watch this right here. This is a key to this game, is this shortstop. She played a very clean series here. That'll be what could be her 19th. It is going to be her 19th error of the season. You think about up the middle defense. There's 19 now at shortstop. Your second baseman has 10. Your center fielder has 6. It's really hard in this game on this short field to win with that kind of defense right up the middle. And we're going to find out right away if Coach Reed is thinking small ball or station to station here.
Seghetti shortens to bunt and takes. It's a single and an E6, allowing Cowart to go to second base. Embler really struggled to begin the year. Her first 7 appearances, she gave up 47 earned runs in 33 1/3 innings, but got much better as the year moved along. Hawkins will go to first. The sacrifice is good, 5-3.
Now, Coach Reed, this is what he does with his lineup. He plays to move Cowart as far along as he can in any ways or any means possible to get to this batter right here.
See that Furman defense, which has been inconsistent.
Yeah, and I mentioned the errors up the middle. Hawkins at third has 20. Now look, in this stadium, there's a lot more pressure, as I said earlier, on the defense to field the ball cleanly. And at third, it is a high pressure and intense position to play here.
Pitts, a second team all-conference selection in the right-hand batter's box, looking to bring Cowart home. Remember, the first 2 games in the tournament are single elimination. So the winner of this one and the winner of the next game between Mercer and ETSU get into the double elimination portion of the bracket. This is not a place that Chattanooga is used to being as the dominant force in the league over many, many years. They're 6-0 against Furman over the last 2 years and 90-28 all-time against the Paladins.
Yeah, there's been improvement right around this league. UNCG now, I feel like, has established themselves as somebody to be dealt with. Western Carolina is positioning themselves to all make a stand against Chattanooga.
The men in charge today, Dustin Holton behind the plate, Jason Zanny over at first, and Henry Hill at third.
Feels like Ambler's being very cautious here. And I wouldn't, in this game, I wouldn't say because first base is open, you're going to pitch around somebody, but you certainly aren't going to give Pitts, hopefully, anything too fat. And really, there's not an off-ramp in the next 3 hitters, but certainly Pitts is the one that I think can cause the most damage.
Ambler is a freshman from Harrisburg, North Carolina, about 20 miles northeast of Charlotte, went to Hickory Ridge High School and didn't really come to Furman thinking she was going to pitch. She came in as a middle infielder slash pitcher, but injuries have pressed her into duty. And Coach Mary Beth Dennison said that she's just a great competitor. She pitched a little in high school, some in travel ball, and essentially said, what can I do for you? What do I need to do to help this team achieve? She throws a fastball, a rise, a curve, and a change, but probably the curve and change are her best pitches.
I'd have said you need to hit 400 and throw a couple of no-hitters.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, she does have 8 of their 13 wins.
Yeah. Watching her, she just seems like she is, right? She's an athlete that can play a lot of different positions. She does this well. And I mentioned the errors. Look, it's tough to pitch when you don't have a solid defense behind you.
She really could use a strikeout here.
It puts so much stress on you to be so accurate with your pitching when there's throwing errors and grounding errors. We saw that throwing error by the shortstop. 80% of all errors in this game are throwing errors. And it's just so costly when the field is short.
That one is struck well. Marshburn retreats and she grabbed it. She got it up over the wall. Coming in to score is Coward, but a terrific play out in left field.
You're not going to see a lot that are any better than that. And Marshburn has done that here. She's coming off a series where she's played good defense. And she robs a run, doesn't she? For sure, the home run.
So it's 1-0 Chattanooga, but it very easily could have been 2-0.
You look down now and you look at the scorebook, and what you'll start to see stand out in games like this, the error has scored. All
Yep.
right? And I wouldn't be surprised after a couple of innings if you look down and you'll see that the walks have started to score. And that's a lot of times the difference in the game.
Hawkins. An unearned run on 1 hit in the first inning for the Mocs, and they lead 1-0 after 1. Chattanooga leads Furman 1-0 in this single elimination portion of the SoCon softball tournament. You see what the year has looked like for Furman. They have had some success in the past. This is the first year for Coach Mary Beth Dennison, replacing Stacy Johnson Whitfield. And most of these players, Todd, she didn't recruit.
Yeah. And that you have to build a relationship with these players. You have to get very familiar with their style. And sometimes you have to adapt your coaching to what they can do until you get the players in there that you want and they can do what you want to do.
She said that it's a very, very young team, and she knew that this would be a growing season, a new staff and players, and she really only recruited the catchers. Everyone else was on the roster when Mary Beth Dennison took over. That's ripped out to right center field, a one hop to the wall. Digging for a second is Hawkins, and after she made that outstanding play in left field last inning, or that was Marshburn who made the play in left field, it's a leadoff double for Hawkins.
You see Hawkins here gets to that pitch on the outside, and what she does so well, and you wouldn't think about this as the number 6 hitter in the order, of the 9 batters in the lineup today, she has the highest hitting percentage as a leadoff batter. She hits 500, and now she's hitting over 500 as a leadoff batter. And there's just such a difference that batting with no stress makes, right? I'm the first person this inning. There's other people behind me.
So here's Marshburn, who made that great play in left field, looking to move the runner, shortens to bunt. The ball gets away from Bunt, the catcher. You're down 1-0. If you're Mary Beth Dennison, are you thinking about a crooked number or a way to get this thing tied?
I tell you, probably just tie it right now.
The bunt popped up. Jones makes the play, and retreating to second is Hawkins.
So what I love about softball and baseball, and I'm sure you do too, is you can second guess everything without offending anybody. With a runner at second base, I'm not always a proponent of bunting to move him to third. I understand the math. But surrendering it out sometimes is difficult to swallow if you haven't been successful moving runners over, especially in the past.
You sound like Billy Bean.
Good. That's what I strive for.
In baseball, they bunted for 100 years.
Yeah,
and then the analytics revolution took over, and bunting became much less frequent.
I love the bunt game, first to second. I'm not sold on second to third. And we'll see a couple of opportunities this weekend. In softball, you think about scoring position being a runner in scoring position being second and third. In this game, you can be on first on this field and be in scoring position. Now, there's a lot of dynamics there. Your speed, what is the ability of the player at the plate to hit for extra bases. But you can score somebody from first with a double in this park and a lot of other parks like this.
McCoy ahead in the count 3-0, and we'll get a visit to the mound to chat with Taylor Long.
I'm not sure if they are not crossed up on their pitches here. Whatever the case is, a 1-0 lead 5 weeks ago, not a big deal, right?
Yep.
Huge deal today.
Well, and that's the thing about the structure of the tournament. This game means considerably more than the next game, because if you lose this one, the season's over. If you win this one and you make it to the double elimination portion of the bracket, you can survive a loss. Mercer went from the single elimination game last year to winning the championship. You would think for Chattanooga, playing at home, if you could build momentum as the week moves along, you'll have the home crowd and maybe some confidence with that championship pedigree ingrained in the Mocs. but it's been a bumpy ride.
Yeah, it has. I mean, they really have had. I mentioned earlier that there was some questions about who was going to play second base, and Gaynor was in and out of the lineup just barely. And I would say if she hadn't played as well as she did in the series against Furman, I'm not sure who would be the second baseman today.
Double popped up bunt and walk to begin the top of the second inning, and Ansley Chang will hit, the number 9 hitter in the order.
There are coaches on both sides of this roster today that have told us essentially we have players playing out of position in some instances, right?
Most of them are on the field right now.
Yeah.
Chang at the plate will graduate early. Pre-med runners go. That's thrown down the left field line, and Hawkins is going to tie the game. Stolen base E2, and we're even at 1.
So a double steal. You see right here, there's no coverage at third. It's late. And Abby Bunt, we talked about players out of position. Is she, isn't she? It's another spot on this roster where the Mocs have played around with different people behind the plate.
And now you have the potential go-ahead run over at third base. So you can score the run while making an out, though the infield is creeping in to try to choke off that run. Chang looking to lift one into the outfield.
Well, it looks like Furman's going to try to turn this into a bit of a track meet here. That was going to be trying to steal from third on the bunt attempt, trying to come home on it.
Squeeze.
Yep. This is when I think you're the opposing coach and you think, well, no, wait a minute. We didn't plan for that. You're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to play the way you played all year long, right? We weren't prepared for this.
That's going to score the run. Ansley Chang with the sac fly to right field. And Furman has the lead 2-1.
And if you're Furman, you are thrilled that you've gotten production out of the bottom half of your lineup. I mean, coming into this game, there were less than 20, there were 24, not less than, there were 24, there were 29 RBIs split among the first 4 batters we've seen here, and they've already picked up 2 runs here.
Back to the top of the order for Stoltz Foos. Hawkins led off with a double. Marshburn popped up a bunt. McCoy walked, a double steal and an E2 to score a run and move a runner to third. And Chang sac fly, making it 2-1 Furman.
And by the way, the error has scored and the walk has scored, right? So we're right on track.
And the error scored in the bottom of the first inning as well.
Whether or not this player gets on base or not, I still think that the key for Stolfoots is going to be her defense. Now, she's committed the 1 throwing error already, but if she can steady herself at that spot and help her pitcher out, this game all of a sudden becomes a toss-up.
57 degrees and breezy at Frost Stadium in Chattanooga. Up the third baseline. Jones difficulty playing that, and Stolfus reaches.
This is a hard one down the third baseline because it looks like it is trailing away from Jones, and she has already struggled a little bit here in this inning. I felt like she was late in covering the bag on a stolen base attempt. And now she does prevent this one to getting into left field. And I don't know even if she comes up with it, if she makes a clean play. 2 outs, I might think about running here. I would be okay if my runner got caught.
Well, she's 12 of 12 stealing this year, so she's a pretty good opportunity to try to move that runner into scoring position. She is going, and the pitch has popped out of play.
Well, and here's an example of what we were talking about earlier. She may already be in scoring position. You have a batter at the plate that has 11 doubles on the year. That might get it done, especially with 2 outs, and the runner has the advantage to go on anything.
The Furman Paladins trailed 1-0, but they score twice in the top of the second. And Mary Beth Dennison said her team needs to play with the lead. Well, they've got the lead. 2-1 headed to the bottom of the second in Chattanooga. Chattanooga Mocs come up in the last of the second, trailing 2-1, and there you see Frank Reed's dugout. Been a lot of success in that dugout over many, many years. 16 regular season titles and 17 tournament titles this year. A little bit of an anomaly, Todd, when we've talked throughout the year to Coach Reed. He's very much bemoaned the way college sports have changed.
Yes, it is. It's been a drumbeat, and I understand it. He lost his best pitcher to Ole Miss, and I think it's going to continue to happen for everybody. And adjusting to it is going to be a challenge for everybody. And I just feel like for him this year, he just got shorthanded with losing players to graduation, losing players in the transfer portal. It's made a big difference on how you have to think about your team when you're recruiting them long term.
And that's no different throughout college sports. It doesn't really matter the level. It doesn't really matter the sport. Like it or not, that the game has changed.
It has. And I really believe that coaches in the Southern Conference are going to start looking at teams and building their teams based on 2- and 3-year formats. Where is this player going to be, projecting them in that direction? And if coaches are successful in doing that, then they will settle into this new norm. I wouldn't be surprised if you and I talked to a lot of coaches last year that didn't think they'd be back this year because of their frustrations in all sports, right? I mean, I talked to football coaches that said, I'm out, I'm done. And volleyball coaches, I'm out, I'm done. And now I think that there's just people have taken a breath and calmed down a little bit. They understand that nobody really has an advantage. You're just dealing with the loss of players. And this is a position, bunt at the plate, where, Frank Reed lost an outstanding catcher to graduation. Now he has another one on the bench, but that catcher is error prone. And so I already mentioned second base being a position that they feel like maybe they've solidified, and they're hoping that catcher's in the same position.
The idea of having continuity over 4 years just isn't a reality anymore.
And wait till they move it to 5 years, right? This one rides up and in. Gaynor coming off of a strong series.
In there for the bat.
Yeah, she has, and we're going to see, and I feel the same way about Embler, good pitch recognition, the ability to know that that's the pitch I want and the ability to jump on it. You show me a batter that has good pitch recognition, and then we're talking about a player that hasn't had a lot of swings, but has seen a lot of stuff in the cage, right? For every 1,000 swings they've taken, they've seen another 3,000 pitches. And all of that is, or most of that is cage work. You start to play those games with those batters, I want you to call out in the cage if you think it's a ball and a strike, and where is it? And tell me what you think the pitch was. If you can get a live pitcher in there to throw that much. I think had Gaynor not hit so well in the previous series, they might have asked her to bunt here. I always felt like in the second inning, if the pitcher and the catcher are communicating in between the innings, they have a slight advantage in that maybe they know what the strike zone is. These batters that are coming through for the first time, the swing zone, they're maybe not confident in yet. And yeah, they've gotten a lot of information from everybody else that's batted, but still, until you're up there doing it, I see a lot of check swings sometimes in the second and third innings, just because you're not sure what the swing zone should be.
Now, that being said, Embler faced UTC over the weekend. So her repertoire has not dramatically changed in the last week.
That's a good point.
But you don't know what the umpires are doing,
Yep.
and it's a different day in different conditions. And some days you've got one pitch working, another day you might have a different one working. To short left field, Marshburn not going to get there, over the head of Stoltz. Foos falls for a hit, and they're 2 on.
So if I'm a pitcher and if I have had a successful first inning, I'm going to start this inning instead of maybe with a fastball. I'm going to start trying to work the halves first, get a little ahead. If I get way ahead, I'm going to go to the corners. If I'm not, I'm going to come back with some fastball stuff.
It's worth mentioning that with the rain out yesterday, the tournament format not only pushed back a day, but also shifted a bit. Chloe Lackey at the plate with 2 on and nobody out.
Did they pitch count her or no? Or time her? Maybe not.
Yes, they did. 1 ball and no strikes. The final day of the tournament, originally slated for Saturday, now will be Sunday. And because of the rainout and because the NCAA needs to know the automatic qualifiers by a certain time, it will be a winner-take-all game on Sunday. Sacrifice good. Runner coming home, and they got her strung up between third base and home plate. And a base running error by UTC.
Does Frank Reed want interference here? He's saying his runner had to work his way work her way around the defender. But regardless of how this is going to shake out, we're going to look at it here. This is good heads-up play by Furman defensively. This is where you want your team to be mentally. Furman makes the right play. And I think you've got to give the third baseman some room to make a play there.
I agree.
Right?
It looked to me like that was avoidable, at least to some degree. They're going to review it.
Yeah.
Would have bet my mortgage on that.
One of the 9 reasons why you can go to it.
That looks like a nothing to me. What about you?
I'm with you on that one. The only thing that I would read into the body movement of the player covering third is they didn't act surprised when they got bumped. Right. Okay, I'll just stand here. Yeah, that one is going to be on the officials, right? The umpires. What do they think? My defensive argument is if you're covering third, you're waiting for the ball to come back to you potentially. Well, we're getting an opportunity, even though it's early in this game, to see a lot of different scenarios shake out.
It's also worth noting the replay folks have angles that we do not. So they've got extra cameras and extra angles to look like. But if we're being honest, you can see it pretty clearly in those couple of looks that we got there. You see the coaches, the players, and the umpires need to make their decision. Here's Mary Beth Dennison in her first year at Furman. She's a graduate of Georgia Southern. 4 years was the pitching coach at Georgia Southern, and they improved dramatically over that period of time. No obstruction.
That seemed incidental, and I think it passed the eye test as being incidental, right? Well, this is very good defensive heads up and awareness by Furman.
So a runner on second base with 2 outs and Raven Jones at the plate.
Well, look, if you're Furman right now, you feel on top of the world. Hey, we're unbeatable. We're in this game. We're running well. We're not making mistakes early.
But you need to get an out here.
Yes.
Because you can feel great, and a base hit here and the game is tied.
That's right. And then there's that. Yeah.
Jones at the plate is the third baseman, played left field most of last year. Local kid came to Chattanooga as a student and then decided to get involved in softball. She had given up the sport for a period of time. Kristen Embler in the circle, looking to pitch out of trouble here in the second inning and keep Furman in the lead. To left field, Marshburn off the top of the wall. That ties the game, and Jones is to second with a stand-up RBI double.
Gets out in front of this one, holds her hands back, though, long enough. And I guess I'm just going to have to get used to it this weekend of you being right most of the time.
Well, you don't have to listen. Nine-hole hitter Zoe Wright with an opportunity to give Chattanooga the lead. She's the type of player that really benefits from this turf field.
Yeah. And she is the type of player that under the right circumstances, Coach Reed would think about stealing third. There's nothing wrong in a game like this of having the third out at third if you feel like you've got a leadoff hitter who's left-handed coming up in the third inning. It's a risky move, but I've seen it done before.
Wright will be married in less than 6 weeks. A bunch of her teammates are in the wedding in Georgetown, Tennessee on June 20th. Her fiance is a West Point grad who will have a military assignment to start not long after the softball season wraps up. Hawkins in time. So Chattanooga gets one and leaves one, and they tie the game. It's 2-2 after 2 at Frost Stadium. Furman and Chattanooga tied at 2 as we go to the third inning. First game of our Visit Chattanooga SoCon Softball Championship. Embler, the 3-hole hitter, leads off in the third for Furman. She struck out her first time up facing Taylor Long. We ended the second inning talking about Zoe Wright for Chattanooga, who is engaged. The pitcher Long is as well. It's been a long journey for Taylor Long at Chattanooga. Injuries and 4 years, has had some very, very memorable moments in the circle. 40 career victories, over 100 career appearances. She's from Calhoun, Georgia, about 50 miles south of here. That's lined up the middle for a hit. And the leadoff batter is on for Furman for a second straight inning. Taylor Long, Todd, at her best, is hard to hit.
Yeah, when she has that fastball going, very hard to hit because she has the confidence to spot the movement stuff. And then she has also, unfortunately for Chattanooga, she's had some problem stretches, and the Mocs do have some bullpen activity, and that is another question mark for them.
Burroughs walked her first time up, number 4 hole hitter, playing in her 209th game as a Paladin. No throw down to second as Embler moves into scoring position.
I have to believe that some of the reasons why Furman is feeling somewhat emboldened to run as much as they have is maybe they sense that Bunt this year hasn't been the strongest arm or the best defender for Chattanooga behind home plate.
Mary Beth Dennison told me yesterday that they lost the 3 games to Chattanooga here last weekend, but they felt that they got a lot out of it, that they were now familiar with the field and familiar with the opponent. She said that finals are over, so there's no stress and the team could play very free. And for a team that has not had a great year, she was reasonably confident. It felt pretty good.
Well, there were certainly some moments in that series where they looked like they could have won any one of those 3 games. They had big innings. At times, they had good pitching.
And the game that you look back on is the 7-6, 10-inning loss.
Yep.
Burroughs at the plate, you would need her to do something. 7th all-time in home runs at Furman with 23, 4th with 128 batted in.
Yeah, she is an elite run producer. Still in good shape here.
5 strikeouts for Taylor Long.
When you start to run 5 and 6 batters up to the plate per inning, and that was the first 2 innings, you start to kind of assure your top third of the order that they're going to see 4 to 5 plate appearances, if not more. You've already got the 2 runs. Takes a little bit of a, as you were talking, takes some of the pressure off. We're in this game. And if you can get the Chattanooga's bullpen, then, and now Chattanooga has 2 up and throwing, you really start to like your chances.
Peeler shortens to bunt, gets a good one down. Throw to first is not in time. Throw home is in time. They tried to score that runner from second base, and Embler was cut down at the dish.
Both these teams now have performed at a higher level defensively with some situational awareness. Watch this play right here. This is really a good bunt. And then the strongest arm on the field for Chattanooga, Pitts at first. Boy, with where that tag was, you would almost always automatically say the tag was late, right? It's the waist down. They may review this one as well. It's a really good throw. The catcher hasn't created any interference, but that is a long way to swing the glove back. You'll see it all right here unfold. Oh, that is in time, isn't it? Maybe? What do you think?
Thought it was in time live. I think it's on time on tape. I think the plate umpire, Dustin Holden, had a pretty darn good view of that one and got it right. But there's nothing I like more than a review.
Again, Bailey Pitts with a very strong arm, and it didn't take long to rule that an out. Now, these two coaches are rolling the dice today, all right? Going to run. Why not?
Peeler advanced to second on the throw home. So she is in scoring position as the game remains tied at 2. Hawkins doubled and scored her first time up.
I had mentioned in the last inning, Hawkins' crazy batting average, 500 as the leadoff batter. It is not nearly as good with runners in scoring position at 277. So again, maybe back to that pressure idea, being asked to do something a little bit different with the bat.
Early in the season, Hawkins struggled with the changeup, but has matured as a hitter throughout the season. As for her play at third base, Coach Dennison said, "It's been a roller coaster."
That's nice, right? 20 errors this year, and has been tough. And on this field, as I've said earlier, you're likely to get an error or two more out of your infield. But what you really want is if you're going to have 20 errors, but you're going to have maybe the kind of bat that Hawkins has, that'll keep you in the lineup.
She draws the walk, so they're 2 on and 2 out for Marshburn, who popped up a bunt her first time up.
Next for Furman, number 3, Hope Marshburn.
Bounced it to third, and safe is Peeler. Hawkins moves from first to second as well. It does appear to be a strategy for Furman that they're going to try to put pressure on the defense.
I alluded to how you can bounce the ball on this turf. Something on the ground here that takes a big bounce is going to get you a run. With 2 outs, these runners are going to be moving on contact.
Marshburn has driven in only 5 runs this season.
Yeah, the RBI production in this bottom third, bottom 4 batters, less than desirable for sure. But as we said earlier, so far today, they've been the most productive part of their offense.
Taylor Long pitches out of another jam. Furman leaves 2 in the third, but Taylor Long gets it done when she needs to. And the game remains tied at 2.
Something brought us here, to a time and a place where your decisions can actually drive change. Where extra achievers become ultra-curricular. Where a private institution serves a greater public mission. At Furman University, opportunity is all around you. So take our commitment, combine it with everything you're capable of, and the world will be forced to take notice.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
From the river to research labs, from class to community, from first year to first job fast. At UTC, you don't just earn a degree. You find your footing. You find your people. You move the world with you. Our professors don't just teach, they mentor, challenge, and help you find your edge. This is the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, where learning moves you.
Leading off the bomb in the third inning for Chattanooga, number 10, Ava Cowart.
Leadoff hitter Cowart for Chattanooga, starting the last of the third in a 2-2 game.
Well, Dave Furman has had plenty of traffic on the bases, and Chattanooga would like to try to match that here, especially with this leadoff hitter and what you've got behind her. I think Embler so far has kind of settled this game for Furman, or kept Furman settled in this one.
Nice play by Stoltzfus, moving to her left.
I love to see that out of her after having that error earlier. Nice to see her rebound here with this play.
Now batting.
Said moving, more of lunging.
Lunging, yeah. Always being ready.
Seghetti sacrificed her first time. Hit hard at third, well played by Hawkins.
Nice job at third. I had mentioned that it's a tough spot on this field. Some people call it the hot corner. I think on this diamond, you watch that short hop, it is the position of extreme demands. Making those long throws, reacting quickly, and the pressure of the bunt situations on this diamond is intense.
The winner of this game will get Wofford around 4 o'clock this afternoon. But if you survive this single elimination portion of the tournament, you get into the double elimination piece of the bracket. So if you win early and lose late, you see tomorrow. Coming up next, we have ETSU and Mercer. The winner of that game gets Western Carolina in our final game here today.
saw that graphic. Pitt's hit list today, but only because of an outstanding play in left field by Marshburn to rob Pitts of a home run.
Yeah, good. Come on, Blue.
Boy, it's tough when you're not getting some of the calls at home plate on these borderline pitches. Sometimes you change your location just enough that the batter can deal with it.
Deep to left field, Marshburn retreating. She'll watch it go. Bailey Pitts gives Chattanooga the lead.
Well, she just misses on the previous pitch, and I know that has to be frustrating because that is a mental mountain to get over. And she shows, or she throws a little bit more of a cookie here, and Pitts knows what to do with it.
Team leading 7th home run of the year. Her 34th RBI. That was a no-doubter.
Well, she is their pull hitter in that direction for home runs. I wasn't sure how some of these fly balls were going to react today. It's humid out there. Still a little damp in the air. There's really not a lot of breeze, but we've seen a charge put into a few of these. Not all have ended up as home runs, but
22nd home run Embler has yielded this season.
yeah, now she's given up, what, 60 extra base hits on the year. That's kind of a big number.
Peeler there. The home run by Bailey Pitts gives Chattanooga the 3-2 lead in the Scenic City. SoCon Softball in the Scenic City made possible thanks in part to support from Coca-Cola. Made in Chattanooga by Chattanoogans since 1899. And visit Chattanooga. Make memories in Chattanooga. And speaking of Chattanooga, they have a new catcher in the game. Mia Leone has taken over behind the plate with Taylor Long and crew trying to nurse a 3-2 lead. Middle of the order for Furman in the 4th. McCoy, I should say, leading off for Furman in the 4th. Got the end of the bat on that, and it's going to get up against the screen.
Well, we felt like this could potentially happen, a change at catcher for Chattanooga. An area where they have gone back and forth with Leone and Bunt. Bunt, I feel like, is a stronger contact hitter. Leone is a little bit more of a power hitter. This is a defensive change, not an offensive change, however. And the way Furman was running, Leone has a little bit better arm, and I'm sure Coach Reed wants to put an end to what has been a track meet so far. Furman has stolen multiple bases in the last 2 innings.
Do you think the timing is such that he was just tired of what he was seeing defensively, or it's because they now nurse a one-run lead?
I think he was tired of what he was seeing. I feel like he is in a position where if Furman's going to continue to do this, he has to put a stop to it, if he can. Now, the timing issue, to your point, is, again, week 5 of the season, right? Not a problem. You live with it, you learn from it, you deal with it. 1 game to go, whole different story.
Leone threw out 11 runners during the course of the year.
Look, you can date somebody for a year, but the day you ask them to marry you, this is a win-lose proposition here.
Do you see any difference in Taylor Long the last inning or two as opposed to what we saw early?
Yeah, she is starting to spot some of her movement pitches, which has allowed her to start to work a little bit lower and away on these right-handers, where I think she wanted to start the game and she couldn't get there. She's feeling more comfortable with it right now.
Chang with a sac fly, her first time up.
For Long, it just feels like it's starting on the halves. Right there. You know, when I think about the Furman hits today, it has happened because she has been forced behind in the count to go more down the middle. You know, it's the second time around for this batting order for Furman, and I don't feel like they've been forced to react to one particular location where Taylor Long has been successful. You know, sometimes you'll come around and you say, all right, I was beaten on the outside low and away on a regular basis. I need to protect that. I need to change where I am in the batter's box. That's just a poor swing there. Poor choice, I should say.
Taylor Long now has an opportunity for her first 1-2-3 inning of the game.
And this is what low and away will do, right? You're trying to protect yourself, but that's just, unfortunately, not good recognition.
Number 2, Kate Stoltzfus.
You know, if you're a pitcher, you don't want to help batters out with walks. If you're batters, you don't want to help pitchers out by swinging at pitches that are that far out of the strike zone. I really don't think Coach Reed wants to get into his bullpen today in this first game if he can avoid it at all. At the same time, he's struggling with the idea of, it looks like right now, if I want to, do I bring Taylor Long back? Let's just say they advance to the next game. What do you do with her then?
I think we both have a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Frank Reed has been coaching softball for a minute or two.
Yeah.
25 years, Chattanooga, over 1,200 wins, approaching 1,300 wins, over 800 here at UTC. I highly suspect he's going to ride his horse as long as he can.
Took this program over from the Weekleys, who went to Tennessee. And don't see him usually make the trip to the mound.
You know, he told me the other day that he was on vacation in Florida and he's wearing his 2024 title ring. And a woman from way across the restaurant kept looking over at him. And, you know, the big championship rings are hard to miss. And he said, eventually the woman came over and said, "Mr. Saban, can I get your autograph?"
And the answer is yes.
He clarified that he thought he was better looking, but Saban might be the better coach.
She probably looked at the autograph and said, "I didn't realize you spelled it with an I." Right. Teams typically don't hit very well with 2 outs, but that might not apply to this particular batter. And there's Leone showing off her arm a little bit.
Sapalo was hit by a pitch in the first and struck out in the second, looking to get Stolfus home to even the score.
Again, because of the spot of where they are in this lineup, you're okay running, but you also have the advantage of 2 outs. You're running anyways on contact.
Sapala at the plate, played in the NCAA tournament last year for St. Francis. One of the very few players that this coaching staff brought in. They wanted that experience. They wanted someone who's been there and done that and achieved a level of success. At her best, they say Sapala drives the ball up the middle. She takes inside, and that moves Stolfus into scoring position, and Embler comes up with 2 on and 2 out.
Yeah, you just doubled at least your odds of scoring now with 2 outs here. And it's these 2-out walks, and you alluded to this earlier, the walk number. Yes, the strikeout number is impressive. Unfortunately for Taylor Long, the walk numbers are not that far behind.
Taylor Long led the Southern Conference this year in starts, second in innings pitched, second in strikeouts. That gets down. Seghetti's throw home is not in time, and Furman has tied the game. It's an Embler ribby single. She moves to second on the throw home.
The only 3 runs so far today for Furman, Dave, have been on a player reaching on an error, and prior to that, a player reaching on a walk, and now a player reaching on a walk.
Taylor Long was cruising along, ground ball out, strikeout, but walk, and RBI single. And now they're 2 in scoring position for Burroughs, Furman's most dangerous hitter. This is where the game could turn.
Yeah, you go from, as you said, cruising to possibly giving Furman a big inning.
It's 3-3, but it's a base hit from 5-3. This is a moment that we very well may remember an hour from now. If Burroughs makes an out, settle things down for Chattanooga. If Burroughs gets ahead and a couple runs come home, maybe that is the swing that changes the game.
Now, you had mentioned that extra inning game that these two played in, and Burroughs had 2 hits in that game, scored a run herself. She was a big reason why they went the extra innings.
Burroughs was a second-team all-conference selection a season ago, twice a all-SoCon performer. This is her 209th career game. Down the right field line, it hangs up for Cowart to get Taylor Long out of the inning. So Furman scores 1 but leaves 2, and we're back tied after 3.5. Good game to start our Visit Chattanooga SoCon Softball Championship. Furman and Chattanooga tied in an elimination game. Mercer and ETSU coming up. The winner of this one will face Wofford this afternoon. You see the bracket. Those days are off by a day because everything got pushed back, but that's okay. If we were to play that many games, you know, whatever. We're just having fun there. So the games got moved to Thursday, Friday, as you see, and then we'll have Saturday semifinals and a Sunday single championship game.
I'd mentioned Leone in the lineup for her bat and her arm.
Yeah. The ballpark's going to hold that one, but Leone got a pretty good drive into it. Kristen Embler has gone the distance for Furman gave up 1 in each of the first 3 innings.
You know, we talked about the idea of Taylor Long. Where would she be available if this Chattanooga club could hang in there? Same question, right, for Furman, is what's Embler got?
And what you talked about with Taylor Long and the confidence Frank Reed has, the 4 years, and his bullpen has had good moments and not so good moments. Furman is a little bit the same. Embler is only a freshman, but there is little doubt Mary Beth Dennison has more confidence in her than the other options.
Yeah, I think on any given day, to your point, both these bullpens could offer you something, a couple of innings of really excellent pitching. Unfortunately, could also go the other way.
With the season on the line, there is a hesitation to take the person that you have the most confidence in out. That being said, if you win this one and you get into the double elimination and you know in order to win a championship, it's going to be a long week, you're going to have to get something out of those second and third options. Nice changeup.
When it's obvious to everybody, that's when it's nice, right? I mean, that ball just seemed to hang in the air and almost stop in front of home plate. And Gaynor, to her credit, you know, she had already started her hips. The hands were already coming through. There's no way to hold off on that one. To her credit, she steps back in there.
What did you think the alternative to stepping back in there was?
No. Taking a little bit longer to think about it, right? The thinking box where she is right now to stepping in. Maybe the alternative was a longer delay in the game.
We love those.
Yes, we do. For Gaynor, I'll tell you, it's in the back of her mind now. Right? Am I going to see that again? When? And Gaynor has been jumping on pitches, and you start to think now, can I jump on a pitch?
Three-two, missed. 1 out base runner for Chattanooga in a tied game here in the 4th.
Now batting to the box.
Embler has allowed 3 runs, 2 earned on 3 hits, 1 walk, and no strikeouts, and has recorded 10 outs. And now it is Lackey who sacrificed her first time up. Frank Reed is very high on Lackey, but said he's never seen a player that gets in her own head quite as much.
Easy to do.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And I don't want to go too far down the generational rabbit hole, but if you're used to, think of it this way, if you're a scroller, right, you're always looking for something next. You're always expecting immediate results. You always want something to happen faster than maybe it is, and that can get in the way.
Transfer from South Carolina.
Embler is trying to expand the strike zone and has not had a lot of success here in the last inning and a half with it. I thought she was getting some of those borderline calls because she was right on the border, and she seems to be a little off the reservation here with some of her pitches.
Runner goes, throw is there in time. Sheary throws out Gaynor.
The glove on the tag never has to move. All you got to do is put the ball in the glove and you drop the glove. What you worry about as a catcher and what you try to eliminate is the person covering the bag having to move their glove or sweep around for a tag.
There have certainly been some mistakes defensively, but there have been some outstanding plays as well.
Without question. And that's, I had, again, alluding back to Stolfutz needing to have a better game at shortstop defensively than maybe at the plate offensively. And she just drops the tag right where it needs to be. Don't give the umpire a reason not to give you the call. Make it look bang, bang. Do what is technically sound, and you're going to get the benefit of the doubt, and or you're just going to make the play outright.
Raven Jones, an RBI double her first time up, and maybe that's what Furman is going to chat about. You've got right on deck. Want to make sure you get this right in a tight game as we move into the later innings.
Well, you know, Furman scored last inning with 2 outs on the walks, and Chattanooga's in a similar situation, 2 outs and a batter that's reached with a walk. And all these conversations so many times are really about just refocusing somebody.
Chattanooga hosting this SoCon Championship on their home field. Frost Stadium opened in 1998. It's the only turf field in the Southern Conference.
Yeah, at that time, it was the belle of the ball, right? And you felt like maybe more teams would transition to this type of surface, and nobody else has. And as I alluded to earlier, very few coaches in this tournament have even had any games this year on turf at any location.
Fisted to second base. Chang puts it away. And Kristen Embler pitches out of minor trouble in the fourth. A scoreless fourth inning for Chattanooga, and we go to the fifth in a tied game.
For over 60 years, Holston Gases has been your trusted local partner, fueling industries, powering businesses, and serving communities with safe, reliable gas solutions. From propane and welding supplies to dry ice and medical gases, we deliver the products you need with the top-tier customer service you deserve. Family-owned and locally managed since 1958, Holston Gases is your hometown gas partner. Holston Gases, trusted, reliable, local.
Remember how summer felt? Pure, unfiltered joy. Days filled with sun-soaked adventures. And the kind of fun you never wanted to end. That feeling? It's waiting for you in Chattanooga. From breathtaking mountain views to secret waterfalls and hidden wonders, adventure here feels like a childhood discovery. Savor the flavors of summer and make new friends. Give yourself permission to be carefree again. This is Chat Summer.
Chattanooga's Taylor Long, 7 strikeouts so far, and they're going to need more, Todd.
Yeah, because she's given up 5 walks in few of those have earned, but you can see again just trying to abuse Furman on that outside portion of the plate. And if you're the Paladins, you might have to start thinking about changing your spot in the box. I would think about being back maybe a little bit more and maybe a little bit more crowded.
Katie Peeler leading things off for the Paladins. Peeler is one of 3 women on Furman with hearing aids. And head coach Mary Beth Dennison had a player at Michigan with a hearing impairment as well. It's funny.
What have you been doing all week?
Right. It's funny. There are 3 girls on Furman that speak sign language, that are able to sign. Unfortunately, the 3 players with the hearing deficiencies don't speak sign language. Peeler had ear infections as a child and scarring in the ear and didn't realize that she wasn't hearing everything until high school. But eye contact is such a huge key for communication, and the team is very, very adept and meaningful in making sure that those 3 players, Gwen Hill and Jamison Noonan and Peeler, are able to communicate.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things that is still very romantic about college athletics, right? It's not always necessarily about what's happening on the field, and it's about what's going on the bus and in the hotel rooms and the camaraderie at the table. It's the relationship.
Everybody has a story. It's just whether people are going to seek it out and tell it. They use a lot of hand communication as well. They weren't sure they wanted to go public with the story, and they decided that they wanted to make the point that a disability is not a setback, that you can achieve everything you've dreamed of, whether you have an obstacle to overcome or not.
Finding the advantages in what some people think is a disadvantage, and not always true. Although so much more difficult to do in athletics, where the difference sometimes between being good and great is maybe better vision, just something athletically about your build that makes you better.
You have the players that just are so gifted. They were born with it. And then you have the others that just have spent their entire life in the cage, and they take it as a job and something that they refuse to not succeed. And then a whole bunch in between. Hawkins has doubled and walked. She has scored a run. It's kind of been the story of Taylor Long's season, walks and strikeouts.
Yeah. We showed you the strikeouts. We talked about the walks.
Yeah, we've got a great crew here, but they didn't put together a package of the walks. Just the strikeouts.
We'll bring that up in the next production meeting, I suppose.
Walks don't provide great excitement. Marshburn popped up a bunt her first time and struck out in the 3rd inning. Furman at 13-39 on the year, looking to win a SoCon tournament game here and advance to the double elimination portion of the bracket, which I probably should stop saying since the championship game has now been moved to a winner take all. It's double elimination until the title game.
Well, I thought if Leone had gotten that ball down to first a little bit quicker, they could have probably forced Hawkins into a rundown. And I'm wondering if the ball didn't go quicker, I'm not sure how quickly Gaynor got over to cover. There was a lot of movement, a lot of rotation on that previous play. One thing is for sure, the presence of Leone has seemed to, in addition to, I think, the stress, has seemed to slow down some of the running by Furman. You see Taylor Long right there in the circle. About 50% accuracy right now, and there's some help.
Strikeouts and walks.
You know, as a coach, sometimes you don't mind the big blowout swing. This is an aggressive swing. Yeah, in hindsight, it's probably out of the strike zone. But you want to have confident swingers at the plate, and that's just part of it. Players are going to miss on something like that.
Hawkins at first base has 1 steal this year. McCoy up now. She's walked and scored and grounded out. She's got a little pop. Snap throw to first.
Look, we are in the 5th inning, but I can just assure you that both these coaches are already in the 7th inning in their head, right? The strategy at this point has really progressed.
We saw action in both bullpens earlier, and there is stretching and moving, but it doesn't seem particularly likely there's going to be a change in the circle in the immediate future.
And additionally, when we look down at either bullpen, we've got 2 teams also warming up.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah, that's true too.
East Tennessee State and Mercer have gotten here. They've watched a little bit of this one. And now they've moved into game prep.
Nice play by Gaynor moving to her left, and it's a relatively easy 5th inning for Taylor Long. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. And to the home half of the 5th inning in a tied game at Frost Stadium. Nine, 1, and 2 for Chattanooga in the 5th inning. Tied game, elimination game. First game of the Visit Chattanooga Southern Conference Softball Championship. And Zoe Wright lifts that one out of play. Is there any sort of between the ears stuff here in terms of you've got a Furman team, really hasn't been here before, first year head coach, and then Chattanooga playing at home. Coming into the year, their expectations were a lot grander.
Yes, and look, Chattanooga, even though they were pushed in some of those games for Furman, just felt like they gained a lot of confidence, always coming out ahead and having a surprise big inning here or there. So there's just something about the familiarity of being at home that does have a tendency. You're in your own dugout.
What's this conversation about? You've got Furman's coach talking to the umpire, and now they're going to go out to the circle.
They needed a fresh batch, or they went for a fresh batch of balls, and I'm not sure what has ensued after that, unless they think that she is landing out of the strike zone with her leading foot. Could be a lot of different things.
Well, I don't understand why you can't just tell us exactly what it is.
Don't think it's anything to do with her mask. Let's watch to see where that left foot lands. Oh, a little bit of a elevated on the feet.
Wright bounced out her first time up. Same thing here, but foul.
Always like it when an umpire, an official of any sort, takes a moment just to say, look, this is what I'm seeing. So far, I'm going to let it go, but there needs to be some changes. Boy, and give Embler a lot of credit. She is, fact check me now, she's not struck out anybody yet today, so she's doing it very quietly, right? This is not as dramatic as what Taylor Long is doing.
Yeah, two very, very different styles.
She's held this Chattanooga club down to 3 hits. And both these teams have found a way to put a bottle on their own momentum, or a top on their own momentum, right? Capped it off.
When I talked to Furman coach Mary Beth Dennison a couple days ago, she said, we need to make the routine plays. When we make mistakes, they spiral. We saw a couple mistakes early, but the last couple innings, they've played pretty clean softball.
I think so. And this, to me, this all hinged on how they would play defensively today. That was, in my mind, the biggest advantage Chattanooga had in this game.
Leadoff hitter on for a third time. And the lineup cycles to the top for Cowart. Expecting a bunt?
I am, yes, right now, yes.
Now batting, number 10, Ava Cowart.
Put as much pressure on that third baseman as possible, who's committed a lot of errors this year, 20 the total. You want to stress this defense out. And you've got these next two players at the plate have both bunted well this year when asked to do so. And this is, you know, I said earlier, they're so, in this game, the bunt factor on the third baseman, the mental load that the third baseman carries right here shouldn't be ignored.
Wright has pretty good speed at first. Swinging away and blooping it to left field, a base hit for Cowart, and they're 2 on. Expecting a bunt here?
Oh, that's a different story. Yeah, that's a good question. Not necessarily. Depends on how he
All right,
feels about.
I got a bunt.
Yeah,
I got a bunt.
You got a bunt.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how he's feeling about. So Pitts has really hit the ball hard today.
Yeah, good point. And if you bunt here, you can walk Pitts if you're Furman. She does not shorten, and she takes a strike. Szigeti sack, bunt, and ground out. Pitts on deck very easily could have 2 home runs. First one was robbed in left field. The outfield is playing extremely shallow. There's the bunt. They go to first, and both runners move up.
Boy, almost a slap bunt, right? Threw the bat out there late.
Walk Pitts.
I'd be careful, right? I don't know. You see, we talked about the home runs. The home run, I should say.
Well, she almost had one her first time up. It got robbed out in left field.
You are probably a little bit more comfortable pitching carefully, whatever that looks like. I'm going to stay away maybe if I can. Now remember, on that home run ball, I felt like Embler had a borderline pitch that didn't go her way that would have gotten her out of that inning. Had to come back and serve up something down the middle. Marshburn in left is playing like she thinks it's going to come her way, and it's going to come deep.
If you were to walk Pitts, you would set up a force at every base and potentially a double play. Dovey on deck is 0 for 2 today, but obviously capable. Nice job by Shiri, the catcher.
Wow, that's talk about pressure. You can see there the glance back at Pitts and then a little bit of laughter there.
Pitts, a second-team all-conference performer. 7th in the NCAA, led the league in sacrifice flies.
That's a beautiful pitch that and again, just missing. And now you're the pitcher going, what do I got to do? And I would say I wouldn't risk it. Don't come back with something in the middle. I'd stay on that. I'd stay halves here if I could, or at least outside. I'm okay with that one. Is he gonna, Coach Reed here? You know, what's interesting, we have not had a pinch hitter, we have not had a pinch runner, and he certainly wouldn't replace Dovey here.
No pitching changes.
No, but this is certainly, a lot of coaches today love to just make sure that the players are locked in. Situational baseball, softball, excuse me.
Now batting for Chattanooga, number 15, Anna Dovey.
This infield is going to creep in. They're going to play for the out at home.
That is ripped to right center field and gone! A grand slam home run!
Dovey was hitting .500 this year with the bases loaded. 5 out of 10. And here's what she does to go 6 out of 11.
Second Grand Slam of the year for her, and that's going to be the end of the line for Kristen Embler. We will have a Penske move to the bullpen for Furman as Chattanooga has taken control.
Well, you know, we addressed it a little bit at the start of this inning about what is going on in between the ears for both teams in this inning. And Chattanooga had to be thinking that they had not had the big inning yet, but they have shown and proven that they could do it against Furman. And for them, better late than never. And what a shame for Embler. I thought who just was on top of her pitching performance today.
So our Penske moved to the bullpen. If you need to move, call Penske Truck Rentals for life's big moves. And Gwen Hill is on the throw. If Chattanooga holds on, they will advance to a game later today here, but then that will be into the double elimination portion of the bracket. You see the winner will play Wofford. Coming up next is Mercer and ETSU, our Visit Chattanooga SoCon Championship bracket.
And now pitching for Furman, number 7, Gwen Hill. And now batting for Chattanooga,
Introductions behind home plate between the home plate umpire and the catcher there. Welcome to the game. Yeah, so Paul is going to come out of right. She's done this before. She has come out of right field and taken up a spot behind home plate. And some of this is, you know, a lot of times when this happens, this is rotation based. This is pitcher, catcher, confidence.
Christina McCoy is now playing out in right field. Sharpley at third, Hawkins fields and fires.
Now, let me tell you what's gotten interesting in my mind, and I'm sure this is interesting in Frank Reed's mind, although maybe not as interesting as it is concerning. Yeah, you've cleared the bases. What are you going to do with your staff, right? Taylor Long is probably okay for another inning if you want it. And Coach Reed has made changes late in games to go to his bullpen and has suffered ramifications for that just because they haven't been able to hold down a lead.
I mean, if you don't win, there is no
Correct.
second
Yep.
game. But you do need to play the numbers. You're up
Yep.
by 4 late in the game. Surely you'd like to have Taylor Long later today, too. Well, Hill comes out of the bullpen and gets 2 outs, but the damage done on the grand slam. And Chattanooga leads late 7-3. SoCon softball in the Scenic City made possible in part thanks to support from Coca-Cola. Made in Chattanooga by Chattanoogans since 1899. And visit Chattanooga. Make memories in Chattanooga. Well, Furman's got work to do with only 6 outs remaining against Taylor Long. After the grand slam in the last of the 5th, the Paladins need runs to keep the season alive. Chang leads off. Long kind of had her typical game this year. Some mistakes, some wildness, but strikeouts have made up for a lot of it. And now she's in a position where she can focus in and try to make this an efficient couple of innings. And Frank Reed can start deciding on who he wants to pitch the second game today.
Good start considering the fact that Chang had been a better leadoff hitter than she was at any other part of the lineup. I mean, with 1 out, 2 out, 3 outs, first up, second up, third up, she had a pretty good batting average, and she is just hasn't once again found a lot of success against Taylor Long today.
The 9 strikeouts for Taylor Long are her most since facing Lipscomb on the 15th of April. She has double-digit strikeouts on 4 occasions this year, including a season-high dozen at the beginning of March against Gardner-Webb.
Well, this Paladin offense has been able to put up some big innings themselves.
Nice play at shortstop by Wright.
Matter of fact, because this was a series that was last played by these two teams, we've got a lot of fresh information. They had a big 7th inning just a week ago where they rallied for 3 runs. Taylor Long is still popping that glove. She's not lost anything on her speed in this game. We started this broadcast talking about the weather, and I thought yesterday if they had tried to play, it was going to be the location pitchers, the movement pitchers that were going to struggle the most under those conditions. And today, I think because of the weather, it will swing back to their advantage. The ball will move a lot better under these current conditions.
The tournament was supposed to begin yesterday with 4 games here at Frost Stadium. And then there were a couple of hours where they thought maybe we can get in some of this. And they were going to play both of the single elimination games at 9 a.m. yesterday, simultaneously here at the complex. And then the rain started, and it didn't take particularly long to say, it doesn't look good.
No, and it didn't look good at all. Whoever they called knew exactly what they were talking about, because the rain never ceased in this area long enough to maybe even think about trying to get 2 innings in. You'd have been here all night.
And then they were able to go back to the original format with a little bit of a twist. So yesterday's games moved today, all 4 games on this diamond today. But because of the NCAA needing to know who the automatic qualifiers are before the selection show on Sunday night, the championship game will now be winner take all, as Taylor Long with a shutdown. 1-2-3, 6th inning, and Chattanooga is 3 outs away.
The Southern Conference would like to thank Penske for its
Spring doesn't just bring a new season, it builds champions. From the crack of the bat to every moment under the lights, different fields, same pursuit. Greatness isn't given, it's earned. Rep by rep, play by play, second by second. And when the work meets the win, it deserves to be remembered forever. Southern recognition, setting your championship in stone.
For over 100 years, the Southern Conference has competed at the highest level, valuing college athletes on and off the field, and playing a key role in their development. The Knight Commission has recognized the SoCon as a care champion, committed to the education and well-being of our future leaders. Ideal geography, tremendous opportunity, unified values, and celebrating authenticity. In the Southern Conference, it's all here.
We're back at Jim Frost Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Furman and UTC in the opener of our Visit Chattanooga SoCon Championship. Jim Frost Stadium opened in 1998. 1,500 seats, capacity of over more than 3,500. The Frost Falcons, the premier softball organization in the area, started by Jim Frost. His daughter Stephanie was a travel ball player, and this is the centerpiece of Warner Park.
Sometimes it just takes one person with one passion, right?
They call it the Stadium of 1,000 Dreams to showcase the thousands of women that have played softball here. Frank Reed was very close to Jim Frost, who passed away due to complications from COVID in 2021. Frank Reed talked about how most schools play at a field, and this is a stadium.
Yeah, I think it set some other buildings in motion. The facility at UNCG has that stadium feel to it.
This facility has hosted the SEC tournament 11 times, the U.S. national women's team for an exhibition, and it will host the D2 championship here in a couple of weeks.
You know, everybody sees this, and what they don't see is the Chattanooga Zoo, which is behind right field. They don't see all the complexes and ball fields that are behind us, and plenty of hitting cages for everybody, locker room facilities.
UNC Greensboro, after they practiced on Tuesday, went to the zoo.
I did not know that again. Well, it was just a walk over, right? You know, this is really trying to get with some of the coaches after the rain delay, and they just, as we said earlier, we know what we're doing. We're not changing anything. We just got to find a way to eat up a few hours. We've already talked to our situational players. They know and can prepare for when they might be put into the game, when I might call on somebody to pinch hit or pitch run. And as they like to say, the hay was in the barn. So the zoo seemed like and probably was a great idea. You think about comebacks, which is what Furman is facing here, starting offensively. And so many times they start defensively, right? You got to come back out now. You still have to do your job. Make sure that there are no more runs scored. And you're down by 4 runs, but you know what? That's just 4 batters maybe. Making something happen.
This was a tied game before the bottom of the 5th inning when the starter Embler got in trouble, gave up back-to-back hits and a sac bunt, and then Bailey Pitts was pitched around, and then the grand slam to get us to this point.
When Jones is at the plate, we see her there now, it looks like her bat is taller than her and heavier than her. I mean, that is a long piece. These softball bats are longer typically and not much barrel on them compared to a baseball bat. You see her right there. Coach Reed down the third base line for Chattanooga has been talking to Emery Bales, one of his pitchers, and could be something, could be nothing. But we'll keep our eyes out for a change of pitcher in that final inning. Or the next inning at least, half inning.
And the idea would be,
I guess,
hold whatever number of pitches Taylor Long would have to use, and maybe you can use those later today or more likely tomorrow.
Because you might, if Chattanooga wins this game, closes it out, you may be asking Taylor Long to throw an inning or 2 maybe in the next game.
I'll take the over.
Mm-hmm.
Now batting, number 10, Ava Cowart.
Emery Bales threw a lot of innings this year.
From a batter's eye perspective, and I've seen this with several of these teams, they've got players out of the bullpen that, and everybody does, right? It's just not these two teams, that just gives you a completely different look, right? The motion is different, the delay is, or the release is a little bit different. And sometimes that's all the advantage you need if you're asking somebody for 1 inning of work. Just make it look different. Chattanooga's hitting today with runners on has been impressive. They haven't left many out there. They've gotten them all in. Almost all. It's a nice plate appearance for Cowart. She's not going to make it easy on Hill in their first meeting here.
Up the middle, it will get through. So 2 on and 2 outs for Chattanooga in the 6th, looking for insurance. And if Chattanooga could get another 1 or 2 home, maybe that would be the impetus that Frank Reed needs to give Taylor Long the rest of the game off.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I have to believe that what Coach Reed has done is he has told Bales, here's the situation. Here's what you need to prepare for. In my flow chart, if this happens, this is what's going to happen next. You're really good teams. If you ask them, what do you do all game? If you're not a regular player, and the answer from a player would be a lot of thinking. I know coaches keep their players engaged mentally, and the players themselves have to stay engaged mentally.
To short left field, will fall for a hit. Marshburn keeps it in front, and the bases are loaded. Back-to-back hits on not particularly hard-hit balls. And now Pitts comes up with the bases full. In the first inning, she hit a sacrifice fly that cleared the wall in left field, but Marshburn brought it back. She homered in the 3rd, walked last inning, and scored on the grand slam.
Now, this conversation is needed because obviously any more damage, big damage, is more than likely dooming you to a loss in this one. And you want to know what your best pitches are. This isn't necessarily where you think about what the batter's good at. You think about what you're really good at. If you're going to roll the dice on the season, you want to go down with your best stuff. Not trying to get around somebody. One of the areas where Pitts has struggled, and we had alluded to the numbers that Anna Dovey, the ridiculous numbers that she had with the bases loaded when she hit the grand slam. Bailey Pitts is the polar opposite, hitting below 130 with the bases jammed.
Green light?
Yes. With this pitch count, yeah. With your lead, and I got to believe she was just the green light in the sense that if you recognize the pitch is what you want, you swing. If you have any doubt of what the pitch is, then we're going to lay off. Let them do some guesswork.
Hill walks in a run. And this is the last time Dovey came up.
Yeah, one of two big blasts today. You know, what you would have said about Chattanooga coming into this game is they hadn't played a lot of long ball this year.
Now batting for the box, number 15, Anna Dovey.
Second straight inning, Dovey bats with the bases full, and the grand slam gave Chattanooga the lead in the 5th.
I think Coach Reed, what he is suggesting down that third base line is we're okay to walk. If you know what it is, take it for a ride, but let's not help the pitcher out if we don't have to. There you see the concern on some of the players in the Furman dugout. Just hoping that they can get one more chance with the score the way it is. I kind of feel like this game, other than the first 2 innings, has kind of gotten back to what I thought the script would be. I could have seen Furman having this lead here. It's Chattanooga that has the lead. Furman came out with that really aggressive style initiated by that head coach right there, and it was working. And then Coach Reed countered with a change behind the plate to try to quiet that down, and it, for whatever reason, worked. And here you go. This is the best thing a runner could ask for. 2 outs. Full count. You just stand in the starting gate until it's time to go.
Ball 4 walks in a second run in the inning. And now Frank Reed's calculus on who's going to pitch the 7th has to change.
I would agree. I think Bales has gone from questionable to I'm pitching in the next inning. If it is indeed Bales, but not before Furman decides to make a change. And you know what, sometimes when a pitcher doesn't have it, you know, it's just, you just can't leave him out there.
So we'll have a Penske move to the bullpen for Lily O'Brien. If you need to move, call Penske. Truck rentals for life's big moves.
She pitched in this arena not too long ago for Furman. Didn't necessarily have a great outing, but there's just really nowhere else to go right now. Well, you know, when you live on a thin line, right, it doesn't take a lot to push you over.
Lily O'Brien, fastball rise, curve and change, heavy ball. Her mom, Autumn, was the 2021 Tennessee State Principal of the Year at Cleveland High School. Comes from an athletic family. Mom coached softball, dad coached basketball at Lee University.
Wonder how that works when your mom or dad is the principal at a school. I guess it has both its ups and downs.
That
right?
one gets away, and the run will score. Not sure I would have enjoyed the experience.
No. Just outside the catcher's grab. It's always tough when you're asking a catcher to flip the glove. Come across the body like that.
So Chattanooga gets 4 in the 5th and 3 in the 6th, and they're 3 outs away from the double elimination portion of the bracket. Taylor Long remains in the circle for Chattanooga, with the Mocs 3 outs away from advancing. They've blown it open here in the 5th and 6th innings, and now Long needs 3 outs, and she's gotten better, Todd, as the day has moved along.
Yeah, she sure has, and I noted last inning, no let up on her fastball, right? Still popping the glove. Some of the batters still seem to be a little overmatched by it. This is a batter, however, that is up to the task. And whether she is or not, this is where it starts.
Embler has been on twice today, has an RBI and a steal, and pitched pretty well up until the 5th inning. About 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game, we will have game number 2, ETSU and Mercer. Chattanooga, if they hold on, will advance to play Wofford somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 o'clock. Ten strikeouts for Taylor Long. And for those scoring at home, for Taylor Long, 526 career strikeouts.
And oddly enough today, she is still hovering around that 50% strikeout or strike pitch numbers, strikes to balls.
5th time this year she has 10 strikeouts or more. Chopped over a third. So if this is Burroughs' last collegiate softball game, nice to see her with a hit in her 109th game.
Now batting, number 5, Katie Peeler.
I've seen pitchers with these leads. They just feel a little bit more emboldened with all of their stuff. And if you didn't have something earlier in the game, you go back to it.
What is your thought on Long's ability to pitch some, a lot, or not at all later today?
Some. I'm going to split the middle. I think she'll be available depending on the situation, obviously. I would say, looking at her pitch count and what she's done in the past, she may, depending on what kind of inning she gets into, I could see her pitching at least 2 more innings, depending on what happens here.
Her season high for pitches in a single game, 154. It came in the season opener against Binghamton. Several games up around 150 pitches.
I think the different scenarios that would lead her to be in there would be a save opportunity. I wouldn't, you know, just because Chattanooga this year, unless things change today, hard to see them utilizing 3 pitchers in any game.
And there, strikeout number 11.
Peeler took off like first base was open because the catcher dropped it, but first base was not open.
The 11 strikeouts matches the most for Long in a game since facing Mercer on March 29th. And 12 is her season high if she could get one more.
Well, you know, and up until the last inning, you talk about, there's more to it maybe than just the pitch count. She has consistently pitched under stress today. And the one thing that has gotten her out of some of this has been some of the fastball stuff. That has a tendency to wear on you a little bit. Can be easier to throw, obviously, on the arm. Not as much torque on the shoulders and the arms and the elbows, but still, you're putting a lot into it.
Raven Jones across the diamond. The Chattanooga Mocs keep the season alive with 4 runs in the 5th and 3 in the 6th, and they're on to the double elimination portion of the bracket. Furman fought pretty good, particularly for the first 3-4 innings, but a very, very young team yields late, and the Paladin season concludes. So Chattanooga on to face Wofford later today. Mercer and ETSU coming up next. Did you learn anything in that game that tells you something about what we might see the rest of the way?
Yeah, you might see Leone having to catch the full game against Wofford. The Terriers have been successful running late this year. And if this is an indication today with Leone coming in to shut down the Furman running, maybe she gets the nod in that second game from Chattanooga.
The Chattanooga Mocs, tight game early, get the offense rolling late. For Todd Agnew and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dave Friedman. The next game is 30 minutes away.